Good afternoon. Here is Newsline on Melody 100.7 FM, Ibadan. I am Elizabeth Woku. First, let's check out the headlines. President Tinubu says his administration's reform policy is laying a prosperous foundation for the future. Oyo State Government Hospital gets new lease on life as Governor Makinde hands over 31 medical equipment. On entertainment news, Priscilla Ojo and her husband, Juma Jux, celebrates the grand wedding finale in Tanzania. And on business news, South Africa overtakes Nigeria as Africa's top fuel importer. And on the foreign scene, Israel announces major expansion of settlements in occupied West Bank. And on sports news today, Ogun State government slams impatient athletes after sport festival protests. Here's the news in detail. Actress Yabo Ojo's daughter Priscilla Ojo and her husband, Tanzanian music star Juma Jux, marked the peak of their widely celebrated union with a lavish white wedding in Tanzania yesterday. The couple, who shared a romantic glimpse of their stunning wedding look on social media with a caption, "Forever Together," radiated joy, sparking an outpouring of warm reactions from fans and celebrities across Nigeria and Tanzania. The event, held at an extravagant venue showcasing elegant decor, serves as the grand finale of a series of ceremonies that began with a traditional Yoruba wedding in Lagos State on April the 17th, followed by a white wedding in Nigeria on April the 19th, and earlier celebrations in Tanzania, including Adenike and Silva's wedding in February this year. Singer Paul Okoye, popularly known as Rude Boy, has cautioned against the misuse of social media platforms, warning that it could destroy a lot of people. In a post shared yesterday, the father of four emphasized that while some may see social media as a tool for cruise, clout, or to trend, the consequences of reckless actions will eventually catch up. Rude Boy's statement follows Speed Darlington's controversial admission of defiling a 15-year-old girl, which he later claimed was a publicity stunt to promote his music and gain attention. President Bola Tinubu says his reforms of the past 2 years in office are laying a sustainable foundation for a more prosperous future for Nigerians. President Tinubu, who was elected as president on May 29, 2023, stated that his renewed hope agenda was working to reduce the cost of living, promote economic justice, and build a business-friendly economy that attracts investment and supports every Nigerian. He framed this effort as building blocks for a more, and thanked Nigerians for their unwavering support. And commending Nigerians for their steadfastness through two turbulent years, he said their support had been vital to confronting inherited challenges head-on. Oyo State Governor Engineer Seyi Makinde has handed over 31 various medical equipment to the management of the Ring Road State Hospital at Dioyo, Ibadan. The governor said that the delivery of the equipment was in line with his administration's vision to elevate specialist hospitals like the Ring Road State Hospital to the standard of university teaching hospitals in the area of training, healthcare, and healthcare delivery through the provision of necessary medical equipment, which will aid the delivery of sound medical service to residents of the state. Executive Assistant to the Governor on Administration, Reverend Idowu Ogedengbe, who represented the governor at the handing over ceremony, said the procurement of the medical equipment followed an assessment of the Ring Road. Former President Muhammadu Buhari has praised President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for steering the country through tough times. He asked Nigerians to be patient with the reforms of the administration, saying that they are yielding positive results. The former leader, who handed over to President Bola Tinubu 2 years ago, led a pack of statesmen and political leaders who facilitated the president on his second year in office. Thank you for staying tuned. Newsline returns shortly. Welcome back. You've been listening to Newsline on Melody 100.7 FM. Thank you for staying with us. Nigeria has relinquished its long-held position as Africa's largest importer of refined petroleum products, following the ramp-up of operations at the Dangote petrochemical refinery. South Africa has now overtaken Nigeria as the continent's largest fuel importer, according to the new data from energy consultancy CETA, signaling a seismic shift in Africa's downstream oil market. The refinery, which began large-scale production in early 2024, is already disrupting established trade flows across sub-Saharan Africa and reshaping the continent's energy dynamics. With a refining capacity of 250,000 barrels per day, the largest single-train refinery in the world, its rising output is sharply reducing Nigeria's dependence on petrol imports. And on the foreign scene, Israeli ministers say 22 new Jewish settlements have been approved in the occupied West Bank, the biggest expansion in decades. Defense Minister Israel Katz and Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich said several already exist as outposts, built without government authorization, but will now be made legal under Israeli law. The issue of settlements, which are widely seen as illegal under international law, though Israel disputes this, is one of the most contentious areas of dispute between Israel and the Palestinians. Katz said the move prevents the establishment of a Palestinian state that would endanger Israel, while the Palestinian presidency called it a dangerous escalation. And on sports news today, Ogun State government has described the protest, which was staged by athletes representing them at the 22nd National Sports Festival on Monday, as an act of impatience, as the government had concluded plans to settle their allowances. Some of the athletes representing the whole state expressed their displeasure over unpaid allowances at the Games Village in Babcock University, Elisha Remo, blocking the gates of the facility and leaving other participants stranded for hours. Their action came 2 days before the end of this multi-sport event, starting their demonstration as early as 5:30 a.m. and reopening the gates at 12:43 p.m. after confirming the receipt of some amount of money. In the wake of the demonstration, the state government said the protest was regrettable as they forced all events scheduled for yesterday except the marathon to start behind schedule. Before we end Newsline, here is a recap of the major points. President Tinubu says his administration's reform policy is laying a prosperous foundation for the future. Oyo State Government Hospital gets new lease on life as Governor Makinde hands over 31 medical equipment. On entertainment news, Priscilla Ojo and her husband Juma Jux celebrate the grand wedding finale in Tanzania. And on business news, South Africa overtakes Nigeria as Africa's top fuel importer. And on the foreign scene, Israel announces major expansion of settlement in occupied West Bank. And on sports news today, and lastly, we told you that Ogun State government slams impatient athletes after a sports festival protests. We've come to the end of Newsline on Melody 100.7 FM, Ibadan. Kindly join us on our social media platforms for more news stories and excellent programming. Newsline was compiled and produced by Bobola Egunfemi, edited by Temitope Brahima. I am Elizabeth Awoku. Do stay tuned for the Yoruba version of the news shortly. Good afternoon and thanks for listening.
Melody 100.7 FM.